Okay, we will be recording this, as you know, so please do not make any medical claims. My name is Christine Rolando, and I welcome you tonight to Avini Vibes with Carol as my co-host here. Carol Witt, welcome to everyone here this evening. We appreciate you taking your time and out of your schedule and joining us. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm sure you ate too much, so I'm not even going to ask you if you did or not. So I just hope you enjoyed your time with family and friends. And I do want to welcome any guests or new members that we have with us this evening. We're here in Avini Vibes because it's a positive vibe. It's a place that we come and we learn together. We get to know each other and we get our questions answered. And as Carol always says, we thrive. So that's what we're here to do. We're here as an Avini family to learn. If you have any questions, feel free. You can raise your hands and we'll get to you. We'll answer your question. After you ask your question, if you don't mind, if you just go back to the mute, that would be great. And tonight, what we'd like to do is kind of a little format we're going to go with. We're going to do a little bit about the company and the history of the foundation, because we have a very special guest with us tonight. And we'll go into some of the products and then into a little bit of the business that is before us. Okay, so with that, I'd like to introduce you to a very special man. Um, and he's from New York, so I even like that better. And Neil Roth doesn't know this, but usually we have a little challenge in this Zoom call on Avini Vibes. How many Floridians are in the house, or how many New Yorkers are in the house, or how many other states are in the house. So we're excited tonight that I'm excited that I have a fellow New Yorker with me, Neil Roth. Neil is the CEO of Avini Health, but Neil also has over 45 years experience in consumer products industry and corporate management of very, very large corporations. You know, Neil's experience includes a top level executives from Eckerd Drugs, Revco, Thrifty Drugs, Caldors, uh, among others. But it's really amazing to have him as our guest and as the visionary and one of the major leaders of this company. Did you know that Mr. Roth is the youngest executive ever to be named president of a drug chain of over 100 million in volume? He was only 31 years of age when this happened, and that was at Carl's Drugs in New York. Neil consistently led double digits and in sales, and he also is very, very respected in the world of marketing consultant as well as the president of a medical diagnostic company, an electric vehicle company. To say the least, we're blessed to have him as a top administrator, as our CEO at Avini Health. And Neil, I want to welcome you and your wife. I don't know if Claire's with us tonight, but thank you for, giving up your family a little bit and sharing your expertise with us. So with that, welcome and thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. My wife is in the other room playing with her grandson, so she
Oh,
she won't be in here. So,
well,
you
we're
know,
we're grateful that you took time out of your special daughter. I believe it's your daughter's birthday, so thank you
yeah,
for your daughter sharing you this night also. Neil, thank you again. But we want to ask you, you were in retirement basically. You had a extremely successful career throughout your life, and then all of a sudden, here we are in Avini. Well, how did this happen? I mean, this is amazing opportunity, but after such an amazing career, would you mind sharing a little bit with us about
yeah,
this?
yeah. It was sort of a I always call it the perfect storm that occurred. I've been involved with Rick Deitch for about 27 years. He and I have done businesses together. We've promoted and sold the Zeolite product to different network marketing companies. We've done other products, medical devices, and pharmaceuticals. We've done a lot of stuff together. And then, and then and I've been involved in network marketing since 1995 or six. I met Rick in 97, where I was a distributor for a company called Rexall Showcase. I don't know, maybe you remember Rexall. Rexall became the biggest at that time, the biggest vitamin company in the world. And they decided to start up a network marketing division, and it just intrigued me. And I thought, hey, this is pretty cool because at that point, I decided that I was no longer going to be in corporate life. Um, I had met Claire. She had 3 kids. I had a couple, and we had one more. And said, "Well, we can't in California with that many kids," so we moved to Las Vegas. And I said, we need to find something where we can stay home and raise the kids. And I'm giving you this background because it's important to understand why this whole thing occurred. Um, that business lasted for about 10, 12 years. I was a triple diamond, did real well, was making 5 figures a month. It was a pleasure. I was a basketball coach, soccer coach, taking the kids to school. It was a great life. It's the life you want to live. And then the owners of the company decided they were going to sell it. Um, so that was my first experience in network marketing of learning that owners screw up companies, distributors don't. So that was the first one. Along the way, if after that, I actually quit network marketing for about 3, 4 years. And then one day I ran into this young guy with a lot of tattoos who played drums. I went to a meeting he was at, and I got back into the network marketing after about 4 years of not being in it. And we did well together. And for 2 years, we helped build a business. We went away on nice trips to Dominican Republic. We had all kinds of fun, and then the owner decided to screw up, and so that fell apart. So we went to another company, and that one, I don't know, did that last about a year and a half, Kyle? I don't remember, 2 years. I don't remember how long that one lasted. All I know is that after that one, I quit network marketing again. I just and I was doing consulting and doing other stuff. I during this period of time, I also owned an electric vehicle company. We were making electric ATVs and UTVs from scratch. So I was going to China like 4 or 5 times a year and other places. So, I wasn't only doing network marketing. People think that that you can't do network marketing and something else. It's not true. You can. You could do better if you concentrate on it, obviously, but you could do other things. Um, then again, in about 2000, I don't remember, it was 18 or 19, Kyle, the infamous Kyle, called me again and said a guy that we knew from the first company that I was involved with him had started his own company. It was going to be in the detox business. And you got to get involved. And I had actually retired at that point. I had sold the electric vehicle company. Uh, I had to spend a year on contract to the company I sold it to because you know how that stuff works. And then I had basically retired and I was playing tennis 7 days a week. I was having fun. So I said, okay, let's do it. And he sends me this stuff, and I have to tell you, no offense, it was the worst detox I have ever seen in my life. And I called up the owner of the company. I said, look, if you want to be in the detox business, we can put you in the detox business. And Rick and I decided to buy the equipment and we put them in the detox business. We started selling the product, and we hadn't sold the product since 2013. So we did that, and that lasted about a year and a half until the guy decided to get arrested for fraud and embezzlement by the FBI. So that pretty much screwed up the company. And then about 6 months later, so we joined another company, and that took what, 6 months for them to go bankrupt. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, truly unbelievable. Everybody says, I got PTSD. You have no concept of what PTSD is. None at all. I mean, it is crazy. And so we had already built this little factory that we had, we were shipping stuff out of it. And we had distributors come to us and say, please open a company. Neil, you know how to run a company. Rick, we have the products, you know how to manufacture it. And after 6 months of locking us up in a room and not letting us out till we said yes, we we decided to start the company. And it was interesting because we decided to start the company in like February, and we opened May 1st. So that was pretty miraculous, actually, because they told us just to build a platform was going to take us 3 to 6 months. And we gave them 30 days and they hit it. So it worked. And it was a perfect storm because, let's face it, when people go to start a network marketing company, here's how they do it. Two or three or four people sit down around a table at Starbucks and go like, hey man, I heard you make a lot of money in network marketing. Let's start a network marketing company. Well, what are we going to sell? Oh yeah. Well, who's going to make it? Where are we going to ship it from? Okay, all that stuff. Well, we had the Cell Defender, we've sold over 5 million bottles of that Cell Defender. We have a big game. A lot of people have been following us with that and the mushroom and a few other products that we have been making. So here we are with all the products, okay, with the way to build them, because we had the plan put together, a way to ship them. We didn't have any of the intermediary people that people have. The reason why things cost so much and they compensation plans are so cheap, and I really do after understanding it from this end for the first time, they are cheap when they do it, is because they're having other people do everything for them. Somebody else is building it. Then they're shipping it to a place who you have to pay to ship it out to someone else. It's not exclusive. I mean, there's just so many things wrong with it. And we were in good shape. And then we had people like, Dave Johnson and Chip Littlejohn and Marcy Littlejohn and Rob and a bunch of other people who have been in the business 30 years and made millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, Dave Johnson's made $100 million in this industry, saying, if you build it, we will come. And they did and grow in droves. And that's why the company got started, is because Rick and I have a real passion for the products. Okay. It's about the products for us. If it wasn't for the products, I wouldn't be in this business. I don't need to be in a business to go to work every day and wake up in the middle of the night wondering, should I run this or should I do that? Who needs that stuff if you don't love what you're doing? So our products need to be out in the marketplace. They need to help and save people and enhance their lives. And
So
that's the
I want
reason
to
why
just
the
jump
company's
in
here.
because I see some guests have come on just
Oh, okay.
recently, and you say Rick, but I don't know if they know exactly who Rick is.
Oh,
So would you just
okay.
mind? Rick is our Chief Science Officer, and you've known him for a very long time, and he's very well respected and a front runner in this business, right?
Look, Rick Deitch has formulated products that over the for network marketing companies that have sold over $3 billion worth of product. So he understands the product that makes it work. We're a good combination because he understands the product, I understand the business and how to manufacture it and get it done quickly. So, we really like to, when we met, we became brothers like the day we met. It was one of those kind of things. But we really, round each other out. It's a great partnership, and that's why this thing is working so well. Then you add Doug to it with his passion, and you got Chip Littlejohn, you got all these other people with the passion. And what's exciting for me is that we've been able to do this really organically. Okay, it's about the product. And yeah, and now it's about the business because now people are making money that makes it about the business. We have people making significant incomes in this business. When we designed the net, when we got into it, the first thing we had to do, besides set up obviously all the marketing, which was my responsibility, and getting it all designed and figuring out exactly what the products were going to be. We had to figure out compensation plan because to me that's extremely important. One of the things from the PT that came out of all the PTSD that I had, and some of the other guys like Doug has had, is that we wanted to have a business that concentrated on the distributors, the asset of the company. Yes, the products are important. Yes, we have assets and equipment and then inventory and all the other good stuff that you want to call assets. But the real asset of this company is the distributor force. And if you don't take care of the distributor force, you're in trouble. It's not going to last. We all discovered that in different places. I'm sure we did. My background is math and nuclear physics. So I decided to sit down and build a compensation plan, and Doug worked with me, and actually Kyle worked with me on it, and a couple other people. But I did it so that it basically took out all the what am I going to make this month out of it? Okay. When I was at Rexall doing, six figures a month in sales, then this is 30 years ago. So that was, that's a lot of sales in those days. I could get checks anywhere from six to $18,000. Never knew what I was going to get until it showed up. Okay. Here, you go in your back office and look, and you know what you have to do. You know what you're going to make if you accomplish what you want to accomplish. And you can set your goals based upon where you want to be each month. And then you know you're going to get that check. And we're not going to take it away. We are paying between 47 and 50 cents on every dollar. guaranteed that goes out every single month. All
Oh.
right. We have paid out over the past year and a half, I don't know, somewhere around 7 or 8 or 9 million dollars in commissions. So that's significant. So that's how we started.
And in a short period of time, Avini Health, however, you brought all that cumulative history of expertise together. And it's an amazing team. For those of you who don't know, if you're a guest and you just joined us, it is an amazing team. We have a CEO, Neil Roth, with us tonight speaking and a little bit about the history of the company. And he spoke of Rick Deitch, our Chief Science Officer, and Doug Dickey. And we're fortunate tonight to have Chip Littlejohn with us also. So we're going to move into a little bit about the products. There was a question about there's a product known as the tip of the spear.
Right.
And can you share a little bit of why Cell Defender? Why is the tip of the spear so important to all of us, not just to us here tonight, but to all humanity, basically?
Well, you start off by understanding, what's going on in the world today in terms of toxins and heavy metals. Um, there are over 70,000 different toxins and heavy metals that you can attract. And here's how you attract it. You eat, you breathe, you drink. You've now attracted heavy metals and toxins. And for most people, your body will only release a certain amount. It just doesn't have the capacity. Some people are better, don't get me wrong, but for the huge majority of us, you can't get rid of the heavy metals and toxins. And 30 years ago, whatever it was, 27 years ago, Rick realized from his background, and he had been doing cancer research and things like that before he got involved. Um, and he realized that if we can get rid of the heavy metals and toxins out of the body, we can improve the immune system. It's really simple. I mean, it's like a better mousetrap. Okay. It's really simple. If you get rid of the heavy metals and toxins in your body, your immune system now has the ability to do what God created it for, and that's to keep you healthy. That's it. All right. Our detox, our detoxolite, our cell defender doesn't cure cancer, doesn't cure autoimmune disease, doesn't cure any of that stuff. It just gets rid of the things that's in the way of your body being able to fix itself. That's it.
Well said.
So
Well
that
said.
tip of the
Body
spear,
shall
that's the
heal
spear.
itself.
So now
Yeah.
once you do that, and we call it the tip of the spear because now once you've cleaned that out, there are other things you can do to help it to make your body even better. You can use the mushrooms, which helps improve the immune system, the circulation, and other things. You've got obviously you got the plus relief, which helps from pain. Okay. Nano silver, which is just an amazing product that we're able to find and put together. And now we have the gel that gets rid of the heavy metals and toxins are taking out all the dead stuff. The nano silver goes for the life stuff, okay? That's in your body that you don't want in your body. So, we think we've got a lot of it covered. Are we going to continue to improve upon that? Yeah, I mean, I tell you, we're already working on new products and also new packaging and new ways to get the things to you. For example, the plus hydration, we wanted to come out in a packet, we didn't, but that's going to be coming out in the very near future. We've already programmed it. It's coming out. You're going to get the fiber in packets. You're going to get the trim science in packets. There's a lot of things we're going to do from within our line that's going to create easier ways to sell and easier ways to do it. But the tip of the spear will and always will be the detoxolite and cell defendant.
Now behind you, there's a product behind you. I have some behind me in my background, as Carol does. We have the mushrooms, and there's a picture of our cell defender, and even we have pet products. My pets all thrive and love the products that we have for pets. But Neil, behind you, you have the Plus Relief, and I have to just give a testimonial for those of you that know and don't know. I was sharing earlier that we use the Plus Relief with I use it personally, but my husband's through his accident. This is by his side. So thank you once again. Chip, do you want to jump in and share anything with us? Make a comment at all about the tip of the spear?
Well, I greatly enjoy having Neil here to listen to, and Uh, Thank you guys for being interested in what we're doing here. So what he said is that we are polluted in mass by living in an industrial world, and we're cleaned up one at a time using Avini. What he just described to you is essentially a big leap forward in the area of hygiene, where we can now take a shower on the inside every day or more than once a day if we wish, and wash away the things we could not get at before. When you do that, the very next time you pee, you're peeing poison. People ask, when should I expect something to start? Well, that's pretty quick. But even before that, it takes some of the load away from your detoxification processes and your detoxification organs. If you're around us for a short time, you'll start hearing amazing stories about people whose kidneys were on the brink of not being good enough, and using this product, they suddenly were good enough. I don't think their kidneys got that much better on the first day. I think we took away some of the unnecessary work and made it so easy. And then, yes, over time, now you do replace your tissues, and your new tissues are better than the old ones. And so you do get better kidneys. But, it really is amazing. My little line is, when you use this product, every metabolic process begins to work as it should have. And as you replace yourself, every tissue gets younger. Then you get to have attributes of a younger you. And so I look at all the smiling faces here, and you get around us. We're starting to get a few younger people here. I'm seeing Dr. Nikita is a young person here in this group, right? So that's why she comes here, so she could be the kid in the group. But a lot of us are on the trip from 70 to 90. And when you get around us, you wouldn't think that, based on our behavior and our work ethic, and how excited we are about the life that we're leading with Avini. Many of us have been brought out of retirement because it was worth it. And I suspect for each of you guys, your talents, your capabilities, maybe your work history makes you the perfect person to be able to do this. And we are so grateful that you'd bring your attributes and your qualities and your effort to help us build Avini. We do believe it's one of the most important things. It isn't just a bottle of this and a bottle of that for this or that problem. We honestly think we're changing the way that humans will deal with their healthcare going forward. That you're going to have much more self-help, much less institutional help that's accessible and affordable. And so it's going to fall more and more on your shoulders to stay healthy. And if you listen to Neil long enough, he'll tell you, you don't have to, start out sick to come here. You can come with prevention in your mind. And that's really the more powerful thing. Prevention is more powerful than treatment. Bev Ellis from Canada always puts at the bottom of her emails. So that's just a quick couple of thoughts about that. Christine, I hope that is expansive in your thinking, and thank you guys for being interested in what we're doing.
Thank you, Chip, for sharing that. You all were just at the summit out in Dallas, and I wanted to ask you about the new product. A question that came up about it's, not all hydration products are created equal. Neil, can you speak to that a little bit? We're excited
Well,
to
yeah,
have it, try it, get it.
it's interesting because I do play a lot of sports and I have all my life, so I understand it. But I also understand, um, even using our products, that hydration is incredibly important to our bodies. And, there are very few people who actually drink enough water every day, and the problem is that there are ways that you can use to get the body to use the water more correctly, I guess is the best way to describe it. So what Rick has put together, I mean, listen, this is science that other people are trying to do, but they're not being successful, and I'll explain why in a minute. But basically, this works on what they call low osmolality. Osmolality is sort of like, the best way I like to describe. I use metaphors. Okay, I use metaphors. So if you look at it as pressure, there's a pressure in a cell to keep things out. Okay, well, our particular hydration unit actually has the ability to pierce into that pressure and get, and this is really simplifying it in a whole different manner than Rick would describe it, because he likes 7-syllable words. I don't even know any of them, okay? But basically what it does is it's almost instantaneous that the water gets into your cells. Now, having one bottle of that product, taking the 10 to 12 ounces, putting a thing in and doing it's probably equivalent to like 3 bottles of water. Okay. Problem with 3 bottles of water is if you've been a sports person at all, you need to drink that 3 bottles of water the night before to hope to get it into your system. Okay. We used to understand that if you weren't urinating clear, you were not hydrated. In order to do that, you got to get a lot in the day before if you want to be okay the day of the day of that sport, or in our case, just staying healthy with hydration. So Gatorade is actually based on the same principles. The problem with it is that once you take that powder and put it in the water, after about 3-4 hours, it starts breaking down. It's just chemical. There's no way you can keep it for that much longer. So by the time they get it, you get Gatorade and put it into your system, it's not the same anymore. The Gatorade that they used at the University of Florida was used immediately. So they had amazing results. Once you put it in that bottle, what you get in that bottle is 250 is what the osmolality of a cell is at 250. You need to be below that in order to pierce it. Okay. By the time you get Gatorade, it's up to 270. It starts off at like we do, like at 220, but it doesn't last that long. The other thing that Rick has done, and my grandson just walked in. Hey, Bubby. Um, the other thing that occurs with it is that he just threw me right off. Do you have little kids could do that to you?
It's okay.
So the other thing that occurs that Rick has done is he's put the correct amount of electrolytes and carbohydrates in there to give you the energy that you need in order to do it. You want to come up here? How's this? Okay. I got my partner with me.
Oh, this is a proud grandpa. Hi, honey.
Yeah. So you're gonna find that this product not only gives you water, but it gives the electrolytes and carbs in the correct format. It shows it's sugar. It's really not sugar, guys. It's fructose and things like that. But it gets into your system and it gives you the energy you need. He's doing the meeting with me.
He's getting trained young.
So anyway, that's basically what we're talking. We can get into the details of the science and all the stuff behind it, but what you have to understand is it works. And anybody who's tried it, it works.
Well, there
It's
was a
a
really good call
product.
today, by the way. I listened to it by Priscilla, and it went into the Rick's details, basically. She took all his notes. And so if anybody wants to hear more of the science, real scientific, please feel free, reach out to me and I can send you that, or go to Avini Health Training and it's on there. So
Well,
like you
you
said,
could also look at
I didn't get the analogy.
Go ahead, Neil.
the
I'm
new.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand what was your question, Novell?
I didn't get the analogy. I didn't understand what you were saying. I need you to be just a little bit more clear.
Sure. Hold on. He's heading out on me here. So what happens with this product, okay, is that in order for you to be hydrated, it's not just a matter of putting it in your blood, it has to get into your cells. Okay, hydration is about your cells. In order to get into the cells, that it has to have the ability to get in at using this osmolality, and that's the only time I'm gonna be scientific about that. The body, the cells in a body have an osmolality of 250. You need to be below that osmolality to quickly get it into the cell. Otherwise, it takes a long time and it takes a lot of extra water. I mean, that's really the simplest way to describe it. If you really want to understand it, pull up the newsletter we just sent out for November. And Rick does a masterful job in there, really explaining how it works and why it works and the way it gets into your system. But one of the things that I've discovered as being involved in this kind of business for a long time is that you don't want to get in the middle of analysis paralysis. Okay, you want to have a basic understanding of how it works, see it work, hear about it work. That's why we use testimonial. Look at the science so you have a belief. But if you try to over-explain it, all you're going to do is going to confuse people, which is what I did with you, Novellis, because I over-explained it.
Well, well, the thing of it is that you said you use analogies, and then you started on something, and I was right with you, and then I think you kind of skipped over it, and you might have got distracted by the beautiful piece of deliciousness that you put in your lap. But
I know he did throw me off quite a bit, I have to tell you.
Yeah, but I don't need the scientific stuff, but I just need to know. So it's something that so what I'm understanding is, and I was on the call this morning too, and so how does it benefit me? So it makes me I don't get how it benefits me.
Okay, so there's a lot of things you need to have a healthy body. One of them is we talked about getting rid of the heavy metals and toxins. Okay, you know, to do that. But the other part of it is hydration is incredibly important in your body because that's what moves things around in your body. That's what keeps cells healthy, which keeps them inflated to the way they have to do. And we don't hydrate enough. If you talk to any doctor, they're going to tell you to drink 6 to 8 to 10 bottles a day of water. Okay, nobody does that. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. There's no such thing as nobody, but most people don't do that. What this does is it's sort of like a cheat. You don't have to drink as much water to get what you would get out of the 6 or 8.
Oh.
So
Okay. I
rapid
guess
rapid
that's
rehydration is what you're saying. Rapid
right.
rehydration, where it would take you
Rapid, it's
I play
rapid
tennis, it would take
Right.
so much longer. So it's that
Yeah,
rapid dehydration. Yeah, fast rehydration during sports
and
or
it works.
exercise. Go
It
ahead.
Got it.
works really well. I
Got
mean,
it.
Uh,
I live in Las Vegas and I play tennis in Las Vegas. It's in 6% humidity, so you have to drink a lot. Well, when we got this, I went out and I played, and it was about 85 and 90 degrees, which is, you know, temperate for us. But 85 and 90 degrees for an hour without taking any water, and I can tell you, I could feel it. You know how you get that feeling. And I drank a bottle of this stuff, and in 5 minutes I was back playing again, full ball.
And hydration is so critical. And I just experienced this from a personal standpoint over Thanksgiving with a loved one, a relative, an elderly person that wasn't hydrating enough. And before you knew it, there was this person like we thought he had a stroke actually. And when he, had to go to the 911, it wasn't in my home, in another home, but it was a family member. And it was due to lack of hydration. Something is so simple that we think it's easy to do. And he drank plenty of water that day, but he was dehydrated. Chip, are you still with us?
I am, and I've been practicing on this topic a little bit.
Okay,
If you want me to take a little swing at it. So
sure.
you
We'd
think
love
about,
to hear from you.
all right, so when we swallow water, we know it goes to our stomach. Next thing we know, it's in our bladder, and then it's gone. But the working time isn't either of those. It's when it's out in our tissues and in our cells. And that's really what Rick is wanting to create a difference there. And think about what it's doing. It's carrying nutrients, and then it's carrying waste. It's inflating our cells, and it's cushioning us. I mean, those are the main jobs of water when they're in us. And so if we're able to get it into our cells better, into our tissues better, instead of just being, getting to the stomach and then get to the bladder and then it's gone, that is where the rubber meets the road. And there has to be a secret sauce for a product like this to survive in a world full of gigantic coolers that have all sorts of brightly colored bottles that are things to drink, right? So Novella asked, what's in it for me? What's different for me? And it is that those things will happen better. And what he did is he used the carbohydrates, and he used a long chain carbohydrate called maltodextrin, and it just causes the water to be more mobile. You know, when we talk about things like soap, it makes water wetter so that it'll carry things better. Well, in this case, you could say that we're making the water wetter so that it will carry more nutrition, it'll carry more waste, it'll get into your cells and inflate them more. You should notice that, you know, I always comment when I come to this group that there's people on the group that have spectacular skin, and you should see that the skin of Avini distributors begins to get brighter and smoother because it's carrying more, you know, more hydration in it. And then also your joints, you know, pretty much all the cushioning of everything in your body has to do with water being there. And you start drying out a tiny bit. I remember one of the Denver Broncos nutrition experts actually came over to my little town in Nebraska and spoke to the kids that were getting into sports. And I think they said that a 1% drop in hydration leads to a 12% drop in physical performance. And so what Rick saw when he began to get this product out was that it was highly attractive to professional sports teams. And his favorite example is the goalies in hockey. And if you ever notice, they always have a water jug on top of the net, and they could reach back and grab a drink when there's a break in the action or the balls or the puck's on the other end of the ice. They're just grabbing a drink all the time. But even then, they couldn't make it through an entire game without being exhausted and needing a different goalie to come in. When they brought his product in, it became easy for them to stay hydrated. I had a question today from a guy who is the coach of a high-level women's softball team. And their complaint was when they started getting to a place they needed to drink to stay hydrated in a game, some of them would get sick because it'd all be in their stomach and then they'd get miserable. And that's the exact kind of thing, especially when you need to rehydrate quickly, when your tissues are what he calls carb starved and they need to get the energy in and the hydration in. This moves faster. And just an interesting thing about it, and somebody on this call is going to test this. Another thing that Rick says is, think about how many people's legs cramp during the night, or they move unintentionally during the night. You know what I'm talking about? Their legs get restless at night. He says 90% of that is solvable with this product. And so you don't have to worry about drinking it at night. People run intentionally dehydrated in their lives. You'll have teachers that, you know, don't drink because they can't get out to go to the bathroom. People that are working, they can't get to the bathroom. People that think they can't go through the night. And we expect that using this product, those people are going to perform better because they dare to drink, because it's going to be, you know, soaked up into their tissues instead of going from the stomach to the bladder to the toilet. And we believe these are some of the benefits. Did I get anything that struck a bell with you, Novella?
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay.
Yes, you're very, as always, honey. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, but I want everybody to understand, we're talking a lot about sports. This is for everybody. So one of the problems that with our products is that it causes dehydration. When you take our products, we tell you to drink more. Okay. And you know, we get people all the time, well, I got a stomach ache. Well, you're not drinking enough water. Well, now if they use this product, if you take this product and just use it every day, you're going to just be in better shape. Even if you just use it once a day, you're halfway to where you need to be for hydration, just using it once a day, as far as I'm concerned, when I look at what you need in your body. So please understand, this again is one of these products that we believe is important for you to continue to be healthy in your life. Hydration is amazingly important to live every day.
I'm gonna try it because I can't take the silver, because the reason when I would take the silver, I mean, my leg would all night long. I would just constantly move it. And I thought, I kept trying it, and then I'd stop and I'd try it again. And it was the silver that kept. So maybe it's because I wasn't drinking enough water. I don't know what it was,
So
but I'm
now
gonna
you
try
probably
this.
will be able to use the silver.
Yes.
And so I think I got a little divine guidance with my last comment there, because I finally got to Novella's topic. So that's wonderful. Thank you, Novella. And I'll be excited to hear what happens. We're going to come back with a story next time. So I'll be excited next time I get to hear from you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. We're learning together. We're hearing stories. Each week we come together and we learn new things about it. Carol, just share a little bit about what you did with the silver on your arms. What you were doing on your arms, if you would, that little
Yes,
testimonial, because Neil never heard that one, but here we'll talk about silver for a moment.
absolutely. So, guys, before I went to Dallas, for about 2 months before I went to Dallas, I took my worst arm, and I have brown spots on my arms, and they look like they're 80 years old. And so I took the worst arm and I kept spraying it every day, every day, every day, every day for 2 months before Dallas. And then there was such a difference in the left arm to the right arm. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got a 30-year-old arm, and then I've got a 60 or 80-year-old arm. This doesn't work. So I was like, about 2 weeks before Dallas, I started spraying the other one, but it wasn't long enough. But oh my gosh, I took pictures, and you should see the difference, guys. It's an amazing difference. And then they came out with the gel, and now oh my gosh, I love the gel. I don't have to have it dripping off my arm now. I just rub it on every morning. I love it. Totally love it.
Thank you, Carol. So the moral of that story is everybody start spraying, and we'll see you all at the summit in April in Las Vegas. We'll all be hydrated so we can play tennis with Neil. How's that? Neil, don't go anywhere yet, because I just want to ask you one more question or a couple more questions, and then just share a little bit about maybe the vision of the company for the company.
Mm-mm.
The
And I
vision
know
of the company. Well,
go ahead.
right now the vision of our company is to continue to, for us, we're still a new company. We're only a year and a half old. Okay. Yes, we moved into a new facility, which we're still getting into the facility. Understand, you don't get into a facility, flip a switch and get it going. We still have more equipment coming. We're learning how to use it. We've had to hire a lot of new people. So things are going in that direction. But we do have a vision of staying within where you see us today from a product standpoint. Will there be other products? Yes. We are never going to be one of these companies that have 200 products. Okay. We'll have 5 or 6 lines of products, and within those lines of products, we'll have variation of theme. But we are definitely not going to be a company that you're going to be, you take a look at any of the companies. I think they've got like 150, 200, 300. You can't run a company that way. And I don't mean like 2 different sizes. I mean different products. We'll have different sizes, different packages, different ways so that it can be more convenient for people to use. But our focus will continue to be on distributors, okay, on making the product better and more efficient, and also it will also be on taking it and getting you better marketing materials as we learn more on how to present this product to other people. Because that's the hardest thing, listen, we have intelligent people on here who have heard about this stuff, and we're confused about our products. So we have to continue to get ways for you to understand how to talk about the products simplified. That's one of the reasons why we put together the Avini Advantage Accelerated Pack. Kyle was very involved in doing that, is because we really didn't have a way for you you didn't have a map of how you do the business. Okay. There are variations on a theme within that map. You pick and choose the way you want to do it, but there are things when you're in a business that you have to do if you want to be successful. The biggest thing that we have to do as a company going forward is training, making sure that we are training people when they come in. So we're not one of these companies that bring you in and then let you go, hang out on a tree until you die. We want everybody to be successful. So that is, then that's the business aspect of it. And, and some people go, well, I know you were talking about, wholesale users or whatever, whatever we're talking about. But the fact remains is we all have to realize that without a business, there is no products. And without a products, there is no business. So you can't totally separate this. If there isn't a business, I'm not going to have the money to ship you the products. That's the reality. I'm not, transparency. Good news is we are profitable. We are cash flowing. We don't have any debt. We pay our bills the day they come in. We don't even have an accounts payable. That's because we believe that we have to be that clean for you to be able to have what you need to be successful in the business. And so when you say, what is the focus of the business? That's pretty much it. There really doesn't, you have to be focused. And your focus needs to be to tell people about these amazing products and let them decide if they want to buy it, not buy it, become a distributor, not be a distributor, whatever they want to do. We have 330 million people who haven't heard about it yet, guys. We got to get that out there. And we're not going to do it with just who we have. That's why you got to get more people. So that's it.
Well, it's exciting because this little group here has been percolating, and each week we have a special guest. You're a special guest tonight. Chip joins us. Leadership is here, Kyle, and we're just grateful because, like you said, we all have a common thread here of being being the ones that are supposed to share it. Last week we did it about Thanksgiving, and I encouraged everyone to talk to their friends and family, listen to their friends and family sitting around eating and overeating, because you hear the ailments. And what I love about this, Neil, I want to thank you because it truly is. It's about the business, but it's about the products. I've seen remarkable things in my own self, in my own testimonials of this, things that I've dealt with personally for years. And now, voila, I'll just use that term, voila. And I'm grateful, as Carol, her experiences. So each week we hear new things about testimonials, and powerful testimonials, powerful, very, very powerful, life-changing stories. And that's what it's all about for me. And I'm grateful for that. I want to respect everyone's time. So Chip, do you want to comment before we close, or Kyle before we close? Anyone?
I would defer to Kyle. I got some stuff in mind, but I love to hear Kyle talk.
Okay, Alan has his hand up. So I did promise if someone put their hand up. So let's Alan ask his question, and then Kyle, we're going to let you close. How's that?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, thank you for that. Back to what Novella was asking and what Chip responded to. When it comes to the nano silver, and I'm thinking about those of us who live in Florida and other places where you get sunburned and your skin becomes wrinkled, or you have wrinkles because of old age. Well, our new product, the nano silver gel, will that help such skin and conditions as those are?
I want to answer that question, Chip. Okay. So, because I've actually had experience now with it. So I started using the gel on my arms and my face twice a day. Okay. And they have absolutely gotten better. You add to that the plus hydration, so your skin is getting hydrated correctly. And those two things, I would be shocked if you didn't see some major positive results.
Well said. Thank you for the question, Alan, and thank you for the response. Kyle, you want to jump in?
I can absolutely jump in. I mean, I'm kind of bummed I don't get to hear whatever thoughts that Chip had percolating, but I don't know. I guess we have work to do, guys. We have 6.5 hours for those of you that are distributors, or wholesale, whatever we want to call it, wholesale customers. Is that what you said, Alan? We got 6.5 hours left, and you guys, this is, it's funny. Last day of the month, and I was like, a couple weeks ago when Christine and I were talking about this specific call, getting Neil on, and I was like, well, it's the last day of the month, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, well, this is where we should be. Like, this is the best place to be every Thursday night. As you guys know, this is the coolest call there is. it's just, I'm grateful that you guys started this so long ago, and it's just become the coolest thing in the world. I love being here every single week, and I love hearing the questions and the testimonies and not knowing what this call is going to do. Every single week it's different. It shifts and it changes and it morphs, and it's you never know what to expect. And I think that's what's so exciting here. And listening to Neil talk about Hydration Plus and obviously Chip, and I had somebody text me and they're like, they're not really communicating what's going on. I said, well, they're communicating it perfectly. It's just kind of complicated. It's it gets a little in depth. And the cool thing is, guys, hydration is a big deal that most people don't realize is a problem, right? Like, we're not hydrated enough. We are lacking electrolytes. We're not getting the nutrients and things our bodies need anyway. So when you take a product like this, no matter what you do, whether you're physically active or you're not, it's just going to better everything. Bottom line, if your body's hydrated, you're moving better, you're feeling better. I'm excited to see, we talk about restless leg syndrome. I have horrible restless leg syndrome. And when I start getting consistent, I can't wait to be the testimony. You guys know me. Like, I get really passionate about our products and our company and everything that we do, but I've always claimed to be a fairly healthy guy, right? Like I say, I take care of myself, I eat good, I do really good for my body, and I don't have those crazy miracle stories on product. You know what? I tell you what, if I don't take my detox, my cell defender, I know it. If I don't take my silver, I know it. I know what's happening, but I don't have those miracle stories, right? So for me, if Hydration Plus can slow down my restless leg syndrome, look out. You want to talk about passion and getting excited, like, this is going to be a really cool thing for me. So anyway, the whole point of this is I'm kind of just recapping what people are talking about, and I'm super pumped up that every single day, we have people that are working very, very hard, like Rick Deitch, to develop products or recreate products that he's had, hidden away for a long time that can just better our lives. We're not a company about nonsense and BS, guys. We're not a company that's going to give you a magic pill, say, take this for 90 days, tell us how you feel, and you're going to lose, 500 pounds in 90 days, and then what? No, what we are, guys, is a company that makes our lives better. And it's our duty as distributors, as customers, as whatever we want to call ourselves, to go out there and share this with somebody. Because are you doing a disservice to somebody by not sharing what we have? That is the ultimate question you should ask yourself. Are we doing a disservice to somebody by not sharing what we have? And it makes me sick to my stomach sometimes if I think about, like, did I not do enough? Did I not call enough people? I lay my head down on my pillow every night and I go, well, if everybody on my team or in the company or whatever specifically did what I did today, would anybody get paid? That's a question too. You got to ask yourselves, for those people building businesses, if everybody on your team did what you did today, would your business grow? Would you get paid? Would anything be happening? But it always circles right back to am I doing somebody a disservice by not sharing what I have? And the answer is yes. It is our duty to do that. So for the next 6.5 hours, I challenge everybody that is building a business, everybody that wants to further expand what we have going on, and really share the gift of health with the people that we know. Health, wealth, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Take these next few hours and go share it with somebody. The power of one can change your business. One person can change everything. I have seen it over and over and over and over. Right when you least expect it, one person can change everything. So for 6 hours and 32 minutes, let's go out and try and do the power of one. If we think about it, if we all went out and shared, I'm looking at the numbers right now, 26 people, we could have 26 new customers or 26 new distributors if we all go share it with one new person, right? Just in the next, we could all do that in the next 30 minutes. Think about that. That's what I mean, guys. So let's go out and share this. Let's make sure we're not doing a disservice to somebody. Let's go out and share the new hydration product. What about somebody that share out all the products, but think about this. What if you haven't talked to somebody that you introduced Avini to 3 months ago and you haven't talked to them in 3 months? Call them and tell them about hydration, right? Just call them and say, you got to check this out. I know you weren't interested in silver, but you should check out hydration. Whatever, just go introduce it, reintroduce it. It's the perfect time. Tonight we have a fence kicking party for the next 6 hours and 31 minutes, right? Let's go knock some people off the fence. Let's share health with everybody, and let's go do what we do, guys. I love you. Christine, Carol, thank you guys as always for rocking this call. Chip, Neil, course, thank you guys for being here, and everybody. I just appreciate you guys. Love you. Have an amazing night, and we will see you next Thursday on Avini Vibes. Of course, let's go finish strong, guys.
All right. Hey, Kyle, thank you so much. Neil, thank you for being our special guest. And again, join us next week. We'll be back here Thursday night for Avini Vibes. Have a blessed night, everyone.
And guys, I will be putting this up into YouTube, so you guys will be able to go back and revisit it. Okay, so I'll be sending the link out to Christine as soon as it's uploaded. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good
Thank
night,
you, guys.
everyone.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Chip.
Awesome.
Really awesome call. Bye.
Bye.
Great job, Christine and Carol.